Hi Martin, it's Rob. Over at the house, I just finished cutting open sections of the ceiling in front of the cabinetry. Obviously, I would have liked to have cut open closer to the wall, but the cabinetry is in the way, and I don't want to destroy all the cabinetry, so I decided to go out in front of it. However, the good news is that I was able to poke my head up through these holes, or I shouldn't say poke my head up, poke the camera up through these holes and find the three stacks in question. I'm just moving things out of the way here. So you'll see from the original set of the photo that we had a stack over here with a small side piece and two radiator hoses. Then we had a vertical stack and then another vertical stack. Starting from the left over here, right there, if you look at that piece right over here, where this little 1.5 inch piece, the small piece, runs over, and then you'll see there's a little black rubber adapter with a metal ring around it. That's called a Fernco fitting. So the 1.5 inch pipe meets at what looks to be about a 90 degree fitting and turns down vertically. And again, there's another Fernco down at the bottom. You can see that metal ring around the pipe. So that's the first pipe that goes down. So this pipe that's over here, if we were to move this wall that way, this would have to get extended further, and then we'd have to find a place to reconnect it into whatever it's in, whatever this pipe goes down and feeds into. Next cavity over, boom, right in the way. Here's my cast iron stack running horizontally. I don't really have to look all the way because I know it goes across and then turns down, but you can see that this is the cast iron stack running across and then running down the wall here. So that's stack number 2. So I've just seen in the ceiling this pipe here, which comes up above the ceiling and then turns basically off the page and turns into a small narrow pipe. This second one stays a big cast iron pipe and actually runs again up off the page across the ceiling. And then the third pipe here with this little secondary pipe off the side, and the rad pipes are over here. I'll just move my ladder over a bit and show you what I found in the next couple cavities. So the cavity beside the stack that's here, if I look through, nothing but a little copper pipe and some wiring. But then I go into the next cavity, and sure enough, I find the third main stack. That's the big pipe that comes up through up the wall in that photo. There's a couple fittings that go, it looks like it actually goes up, it carries upward to the second floor because it looks like a TY here. So it goes, I'm just gonna try to put my finger in here. From that fitting there, it goes up into the ceiling, and then this little fitting that comes off like a Y meets and comes across the ceiling and runs this way off to pick up some pipes towards the back of the house. So we have, as I said, the actual third fitting that goes down here, sorry, the third pipe that goes down into the wall, comes up, has a couple fittings here, there's a TY, and it carries up vertically as a 3-inch or a 4-inch. I can't really see from this angle because there's a pot light here in the way that I can't really get my hands around, but I can see, oh, there's a better view. Yes, it does stay a full-size stack as it goes up vertically, but there is an 1.5 inch take off the side. Then I go into the next cavity and I got all your space pack hoses, but sure enough, I find, boom, the 2 radiator pipes that were in this photo over here. So these 2 radiator pipes are these 2 radiator pipes. And if I actually aim to move this hose out of the way, you can actually see right there, and actually right even here, is an 1.5 inch pipe that comes across and then turns down into the wall at the very end right there. Oops, sorry, where's my finger? Right there at the end of the wall, turns down and goes into the wall. That's the little secondary pipe, and then again, there's the 2 radiator pipes that go across the ceiling and then down. So I've just identified and found the one here that comes up above the ceiling, turns into a skinny little pipe. It comes this way. That one stays a big fat pipe and comes this way. This one comes up above the ceiling, keeps going up as a big fat stack pipe, but also has a skinny pipe that comes off and comes this way. And this skinny pipe, the secondary pipe, goes up and also comes this way. And so do the two radiator hoses off next to it. So that is helpful in knowing what's over here. It looks like everything comes this way, so nothing really has to get extended that way into the dining room space where we want to move the wall. So that is sort of both good news and bad news, because it tells us that we don't have to worry about extending. Sorry, it means we don't have to shorten anything on the far side, but we do have to find a way to get the pipes that come this way up off the page, extend them further into the new wall, come down. Well, extending them further is I guess what we're looking at, the issue of cutting through the beam with. But once we get far enough, then we can come down that new wall, and we just have to figure out how to pick these 3 stacks up below. I'm curious, however, if we might be able to reduce the number of pipes that we need to tie into below, because my plumber was telling us that according to code, one of these stacks can actually pick up to 4 or 5 toilets. So I'm not sure why they have so many fat stacks here. This one looks like it's, again, because it stays a big stack across the ceiling, it probably goes directly to a washroom. These ones might be vent pipes or secondary drains that were maybe a shower drain, which is an 1.5 or 2-inch pipe. Something like a sink maybe, which could explain why they get smaller as they go across the ceiling, as opposed to staying the large full-size stack size. So in either case, that's what we found in the ceiling. That's why I cut open sort of a trench across the ceiling here. I got the pieces of drywall right here. I'm gonna tack them back up on the ceiling, but I'll make them removable so that we can have a look with the engineer when we get here. But that is a good start, at least identifying where they are and where they go and what size they are as they come across the ceiling. Thanks.